Hey, we back on Word on the Streets. Now we got these dogs up here. CJ, we call him we. We got Coach Atnaf Harris here.
How you doing?
Rod, what's up?
What's up, baby?
Chilling.
What's going on, man?
Let's start off with CJ first.
Okay.
I knew of CJ, and I know CJ. CJ has done a lot of community service on his own. A lot of people don't know that. CJ has put his time in with homeless, with kids and athletes.
Right.
And I applaud you for that.
Man, with that,
okay, because a lot of people don't know. You probably don't know. I've been watching you for a long time when you played with the Bandits.
That's a throwback.
Now wait, is that a long time? All right, so a lot of cats don't know that. You know, these youngsters don't know CJ put a lot of time in. All right, he did some real community work. Right. When he didn't want no payback. This was from the heart.
Right.
Okay?
I can agree to that.
All right,
I can agree to that.
I think Fresno City has recognized that. Right. Okay.
Right.
So let's get into this event. You have an event coming up soon.
Right.
With some athletes.
Yes.
What is it geared around and what's going on?
Well, the event is basically called Diamond in the Rough.
I like that.
And the reason it's called Diamond in the Rough, you know, Central Valley, we got the best kids in this area. But every time we want to go to a camp, we got to go to L.A. We got to go to San Francisco, Oakland, and battle them guys. You know what I'm saying? And what we want to do was find guys that were just as good as anybody else and give them the same look that they getting at the camps. So if say you run a 4 or 5 and you go to L.A. And you run a 4 or 5 and go to Oakland, you got an opportunity. But if you run a 4 or 7, 4 or 6, they ain't gonna look at you.
Wow.
Yeah. You're going to the camp for no reason. So if anybody tell you, I'm taking my kids to, it don't mean nothing if you ain't running no 4, 5, 4, 6. I'll tell you that.
So let me ask you a question, Coach. How you feel about that? What you think about that, Adnan?
Yeah. I mean when Weezy pitched it to me a couple months ago, I thought it was a great idea.
That's right.
It make a lot of sense. Now I see it. I see the vision because, like you said, we got a middle part of this.
Right.
It's not just L.A. and San Francisco. We got the Valley.
We're in the middle of this. We're in the middle of this. Now for a go. We're in the middle of this shit right here.
Idea. I didn't really know the concept, man.
And the bad thing is, you know, just like Atnaf, he was a diamond. He went to the NFL, but he don't tell a lot of people, but he came from nowhere.
Man, he come from that cloth, man. We're going to talk about that DB cloth,
man.
We
know about that.
That's why I want to go to the show with you,
Right.
Big CJ.
That's real. So one thing we really want to do is just get kids the exposure. You know, our kids don't get no exposure. And then you got a lot of coaches, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of coaches that want to take kids places and pick out certain kids. And you can't let nobody dictate what your kid do. I remember my son played for Edison, and all these other schools wanted him to go, and all these traveling teams wanted him to go, but I put him on a team I thought was best for him. You know what I mean? And I thought my son was bad. But I went to a lot of places. I went to a lot of places, and I seen it was just kids just as good or better.
Right.
You know what I mean? That he played against. He played against harder than all them boys. You know what I mean? But the problem I'm saying is there's too many parents getting locked up in what your coach is doing. Just send your son to school, making buses, but they're gonna get rewarded. But if you go out there trying to let kids do what they gonna do, it's gonna interrupt what the coach got going. It's gonna interrupt what the school got going, and the kid just ain't gonna pan out because too many people giving him, kissing his butt. You know what I mean? You gotta old school these kids, man. What you work for is what you get.
But
you know what I mean?
I want to ask you this question. We like Rich say, man, you've been doing this shit over 25 years.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
What is the main? Why is it such a big problem for us to work together? Like I say, man, I've been knowing you a long time. I'm gonna say this and shut up. I work with you.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Because you keep that shit real, man.
Right.
But so. Like I say, man, I'm address this Adnaf like when you was on the show the first time, like you said, man, that was your first year coaching. Give him a chance. Don't knock the brother, man. Get a brother a chance.
Right.
Why we can't work together,
I think the biggest thing is egos. We got a lot of egos, When you look at guys that got nonprofits and guys that their own programs, they trying to put their name out there.
We left the show on that.
Yes.
Did we?
That's what we want to do. That's what I called for.
We left the show on that. Did we?
Now, follow up on when CJ finished, Coach.
Right.
Yeah. So they want to put their name out there, and the problem is when you want to put your name out there, you forgetting everybody else. You think it's you. So say I did an event Monday. Then somebody else gonna throw an event Wednesday. Then somebody else gonna throw an event next Thursday. You see what I'm saying? There's too many events going on, so everybody come together and make that one event powerful in the community. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And the problem is when you get to that point, ain't really too much mentoring going on. You know what I mean? We got to step up and be mentors in the community.
Thank you, sir.
You know what I mean? And we ain't got no mentors. I mean, we losing kids every year. I think we two or three generations behind because we starting at the lower level, which is second grade to fifth grade. So the seventh and eighth grade, it's almost gone.
Right.
So you go to any middle school and just see them kids when you walk out there. It's gonna speak for itself.
Right.
We got to get guys in the community to have Saturday school, Sunday school, so they can pick their grades up and working with the kids and the parents. The parents got to get more involved. When you got no parent involvement, it's a lost cause.
Right.
You can sit there and mentor them to death, but when they get home, it's a whole different look. You know what I mean? So, it's just a blessing that, we got guys like Deke and you guys able to come out there and put us on the air so we can let our people know, man. We all want to work together. We ain't no different than nobody else. We want to save lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the campaign would be nothing about, that's the community, saving lives, and everybody can be a part of it. You ain't got to go in there and talk about what he doing and what they doing. Go be a part of what they doing.
Be a part of it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the message.
That's
the message.
$1 question.
Right.
$1
You know what I
Right.
mean?
And not sending a message to them young kids, selling them dreams. Right. You got to tell them everything.
Right. It's the only way.
Right.
It's the only way. It's the only way because I tell you this. Most of our kids in the community think they going pros. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Everybody think they going pros. I'll give you a prime example. I thought my son was going pro. I sit there and like, woo, he going pro.
Goddamn right. I thought he was going pro too.
He did real good in college.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
He called me one day. He said, Dad, they want to work me out to go overseas. I said, yeah. So he went to the workout and turned it out. So they wanted me to go to Vegas. And I called him. I said, "You going to Vegas, boy? I'm happy as all outdoors."
We already cast
He said,
the
"No."
check.
He told me, he said, "No, I ain't going to Vegas." I said, "You ain't going?" He said, "No." He said, "I'm going to stay here and get my degree."
That's right.
Man, that's powerful.
Okay.
And I was scared. I was heartbroken. Like, man, we've been working since 5 years old. Man,
We're trying to get there.
come on, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got a question for the coach. Coach, like we said, man, you made it to the NFL, man. Now you're a high school coach. Like we say, all the kids think they're gonna make it to the league.
Right.
What do you tell the ones who don't have it?
Well, that's
You don't have it.
Yeah, that's a sensitive subject.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
but we want to talk about that because from your point of view, as been a head coach.
Well, for my kids, as a coach, as a parent, as a mentor, as a leader, we want to teach our kids, if you work hard, you set your mind to it, you can do anything you want to.
Okay,
Right.
And that's true.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
And
it
so
is.
I got a theory. I got a theory with that. And it is true if you have the ingredients
Okay.
to make
athlete,
it.
the big
Right,
athlete,
right.
the athlete.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I was talking about this with my wife,
Yeah.
kind of the same thing, and I was like, this something you wouldn't preach to the kids, but it's like everybody can't make it to the next level.
Right.
I mean, everybody ain't gonna play pro ball. Now, my thing is, if you work hard and you set your mind to it, it give you the best chance to succeed. It give you the best chance to make it.
Right.
If you don't work hard, you have no chance.
Exactly.
And so for me, working hard and doing all the right things give you the best chance. But truth is, there are some people who can do everything they supposed to by the book, and they still not gonna make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me just say something, Richard. See, I said that because I was one of them kids, man, that thought I was gonna go to the NFL
Right.
because I was good.
Right.
But I knew one kid from Fresno who I knew was gonna go to the NFL, and that was Steve Taylor.
Right.
You know, because you like I said, you probably like when they were looking at you, Adno, they were like, damn, Adno can make it to the league. But then they're like, no. But then when you made it to the league, you know you made it.
Right.
But like I said, I knew Steve was gonna make it, man, because he was an athlete. I'm through, Rich.
Right.
Cause I'm bad, cause I didn't make it. And they play Nebraska,
Right,
baby,
right,
you know,
right.
And
he
you-
lived my dream.
And you know what? I'll be honest. And just talking about this with other players, like me and Ricky Manning have a lot of these discussions, Corey Hall, Rob Golden. And when you really think about it, even kids who trying to gain athletic scholarships in football at the collegiate level, I'm be honest, it's really a hit or miss.
Yes,
It's a hit or miss.
It's really a hit or miss.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And for some kids, some things got to go your way. Some kids jump off the board, height, weight, speed, athletic ability. Some kids don't. You know, so those kids are at a lesser advantage. And some things got to go your way. Like, for example, I think we was talking about this the other day, Weezy. Kids now, they look forward to 10, 12, 30 offers. You only need one school to fall in love with you.
Right.
That's it.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, and I was
You
on
only,
yeah.
and it kind of go back to what I said. It's a hit or miss,
Right.
because some kids make it, get a scholarship, or make it to the pros, and you got, how did he make it? He
Right.
he wasn't
Right.
even that good, or he didn't even have all the intangibles that they look
Yes, sir.
for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then some kids who have all the intangibles don't make it, and you
Right.
say, and it kind of mess up what you thought was the.
The man, I know
Right,
about
yeah.
he did it. You know, like he got it.
Right.
Yeah, but he don't got it.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you look at those situations and you go, how did that happen? A lot of it a hit or miss, but it go back to what I said. You got to make sure you do everything you can to put yourself in position to either gain athletic scholarship or to have a shot to play pro ball. And to me, if you don't do all the things right, meaning, doing the right things on and off the court or field, having your
Academics in order,
academics,
right.
right? Staying out of trouble. Make sure you associating yourself with the right
With good
people,
people.
right?
Right.
You have to do all them things to put yourself in position,
Right.
because if you're hanging around with the wrong crowd, or if your grades not right,
Yeah.
if you getting into trouble, if if you're not doing things right at home, all them things add up to either giving yourself the best chance to make it or giving yourself a lesser chance to have an opportunity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All those things, they matter.
Right.
And so you just have to make sure, and I talk to all my kids at Edison all the time, just about doing the right thing. When you do the right thing, good things happen for you.
Right.
That's right.
And then with that, you pretty much got to let the chips fall where
Right.
they may.
Right. And it's
Coach.
Go ahead.
No, I just had one question before I forget. And do you think kids set their goals to some of these big time schools? And there's a lot of colleges out there that have football teams, right, to play for and giving up scholarships. But
Right.
if it's not the correct or the right school that everyone else hear about,
Right.
they like give up.
Right.
I feel they shouldn't, because some of them small schools give an opportunity to get an education.
Right.
So I don't know. That's how I feel about it with
Right.
that part of it.
I think like this, I was talking to kids call me all the time from schools. And I asked this kid one day, what school you want to go to? That boy sat there and said, Oklahoma and all these schools. No, I'm
Did he have the
serious.
tangibles?
He didn't have it. But I didn't want to sit there and tell him. I'm
Right.
asking, why you pick
you
them
chose,
schools? Why you don't go to Fresno State, San Diego
And that's
State,
what I'm-
San
that's
Jose
what I'm
State?
getting
That's
to.
what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? Because you got to see what level you on. If
Right.
you ain't tearing nothing up, they don't need you thinking that high.
Right.
Okay, let me say something, Coach B. You gotta understand, man. They see them schools on TV.
Right.
Right.
So that's what Adno the ball
No.
back down. Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna make it. If I go,
Right.
if I go to Alabama, I'm on TV 5 times a
Right.
season.
Right.
I'm gonna get the exposure.
Yeah, but the problem is this.
Yeah.
The problem is you got all these guys training these kids.
And that's
And all they doing is pure lying to these kids.
lying.
Taking all these kids money from their parents that they don't even yet got. But they got to pay their phone bills and all these other bills. They trying their best to get these kids out there, and they giving these kids a dream, but they ain't gonna fulfill. You look at this right here. Tony Perry gone.
Man, I've been waiting on somebody.
Tony
to say
Perry
that.
gone,
Rest
man.
in peace,
I'm serious.
TD.
Tony Perry was the baddest dude ever.
Ever, man.
There's not going to be nobody in this valley and state going to do what he could do. So anybody say, well, Tony Perry told me, I don't care what he told you. You ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do what he did. I'm going to tell you the baddest thing I seen him do. Tyler Horton didn't have too many offers. Didn't have too many offers because he ran a 4.7 something. He went to Edison and re-ran him, but boy ran a 4.5 something.
That's right.
When they changed this thing to 4.5, Florida State and everybody wants this boy.
That's right.
But before that, he didn't have he was too much of nothing, man. And that's a prime example. If you ain't got no contacts, quit lying to these kids about these coaches and all that because it ain't true. No, I'm serious, man.
No, because this one we left the show on last time. We didn't get to it. I'm glad we got we to say it.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you honest God's truth. Don't let nobody control your kids, man. If your kid play for this team over, that's cool. But make sure you keep your hand in there. Don't let nobody get your son and don't get caught up in none of that madness. Because when it don't work, who you gonna point the finger at? Yourself.
That's right.
Because you sit there and let your son go through that stuff.
That dude doing like this.
Yeah, come on.
We want everybody to come back to the Rock, man, to play under Coach Atnaf, man.
Right.
Forget all
But
that, man.
you ain't gonna do that because you got too many guys trying to control other kids. Until you keeping kids. Look. One thing about me is I don't care where a kid goes to school at. If I can help you, I'm gonna help you. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna sit there and tell you no BS. You know what I mean? I don't play.
Years.
You know what I mean? I was around Tony for 30 years when I first moved to Fresno.
You sure did.
Man,
Can't nobody.
that's a whole nother show.
Right. That's one show you don't. That one show you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You don't want to miss that.
I was talking. I don't know if it was you, or who it was. It might was Marlon. Me and Marlon Jackson was talking, and we was talking about what we was talking about. How certain trainers and coaches trying to control the kids, and
Yeah, it's bad.
a lot of. The reason a lot of kids are transferring because you got those same people pulling kids in different directions.
Right.
You go over here, and out of all the years, Tony Perry was working with all these kids. He was at Edison for the majority of his career coaching, and he went to Central for a while. But through all his years coaching at them two schools, he worked with kids all over the state, all over the valley, and not one time was he telling kids,
You go to ET.
hey, come play for me at Edison. Hey, come play for me at Central. He did it because he wanted to. He wanted to help kids. It wasn't for his personal gain.
That's
Right.
He did it because he wanted to see kids succeed.
Man.
Right.
And there are situations where kids, I want to come there. No, man, you can't do that, man. You good. You know, I'm going to help you. You know what I mean?
Right.
You good where you at.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ain't got to come over here. You ain't got to do this. I'm going to still help you. And that was genuine. You ain't, and so now the difference from Tony Perry, you know, that genuine, I want to help kids. Now you got people doing it for their personal gain. They telling kids, go over here because it's something in there for them. Go over here with my boy. We going to hook you up. And so that's kind of where we left off last time. You know, you got a lot of people, they try to attach themselves to kids who are doing well or kids who have a promising future, because if they attach their name to these kids, or if we get these kids over here, if we do this, we setting up it's something for them in the back end. You got to know that.
They try to get that
And so,
20%, man,
you know,
on the ass end,
now they call them street agents. You got street agents, right? And so, you know, a lot of people wondering why a lot of kids be moving schools. You know, prime example, a lot happened at Edison, but not just through Edison. It's happening all throughout the nation now, and especially within the state. And I'm telling you, that's the center of it. People is backdoor deals. Hey, you go over here. It's a
Big
hookup
time.
somewhere.
No, he's saying it like it is. It is backdoor deals.
But
No, it
back
is.
to like the show when he was talking
Right.
about the kids transfer from Edison, but then when they get over there, they stand in the line. But they want to talk crazy Adno.
Right.
But when they get to Clovis West and they get to Central, and the Caucasian coach say, well, your son, he's not that good.
Right.
They just want to sit back.
Oh yeah.
But when Adno say,
Yeah.
your son's not that good. Oh,
You
man,
crazy.
Adno
You
crazy.
gotta get him
I'm
out
going to
here.
make my son go to the NFL.
You gotta get him out
That
of here.
bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's what we talking about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, then we gotta change that, Big CJ.
Right.
Like I say, what
Yeah,
y'all doing?
yeah.
Like I say, what y'all doing Sunday, man? The Diamond in the Rough is giving these kids, man, what a lot of like everybody got a computer. They like, okay, that boy from Edison, man, he in the 10th grade, but he's 6'1", 215. I'm finna watch him.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what this is about.
Yeah. And
And
then
this is beautiful,
yeah.
y'all. Y'all believe that?
And then
That's
you,
beautiful, man.
and then you see, you got to look at the guys we got coming in. You got Ricky Manning, you got Atnaf, you got Robert Golden, and you got Charlie Jones. They all in this spell. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
And
they
they'll come on that
they gonna
two
come out there. Just imagine this, man. That you got guys gonna come out there to spend their time with you. Them NFL dudes, they can do what they want to do. They ain't got to come out there. When I
They
made
sure don't.
Man, it's summertime. They on
when
vacation.
I made a phone call, it was like, yeah, we there. You know what I mean?
But
So when
see,
that
no one
ranking-
can do that, man.
Right. So when that you're gonna
So
rank
this
them
how-
and grade them.
This how it go.
Okay.
They gonna when we go out there, they gonna go through the process.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna look at the receivers. He'll look at the receivers. And him and Charlie Jones go over all that. The ones they like, okay, you got a shot. They go to L.A.
Right.
So what it is it's 7 camps. There's a camp in San Diego, a camp in L.A. We got the Central Valley. Then we got the Bay. They're gonna pick the top kids at all these places. Then they come to L.A. and that's when they battle. And all the kids get ranked. They're gonna pick what position you gonna get ranked. You feel me? But you gotta go through this process of going out there doing well. You know what I mean? When you got Ricky Manning, man, out there, and Robert Golden and him and Charlie Jones, it don't get no better than that.
Man,
You know what I
man, don't
mean?
get no
Yeah.
better
See,
than
that's
that,
one
man.
thing about dealing with different. I want to tell you, dealing with different guys that train your kids. One thing you got to realize when people try to tell you about your kids, the first thing you ask anybody is, "What you done?" That's the first thing you need to ask anybody
So we
dealing
gonna
with
keep
your
that
kids.
shit 1,000.
Keep it 100.
We gonna keep that
Oh, 1,000?
Yeah.
We got 4 zeros.
Yeah, we keep
It's the only way.
1,000.
Right.
You know
What you
I mean?
done?
Yeah, what you
lately?
done?
Jackson?
To let me put my son in your
In your
care.
hands,
Yeah,
right.
Come on,
yes,
man.
sir, yes, sir.
I don't need you sitting around talking about he going to Colorado. He going and he ain't going to these places. You can't even take him to a practice day. You know what I mean? You can't take him to none of that stuff. But you seeing all this stuff, you got to be real careful. Because when it's over, man, and it don't work right, man, his son gonna be at City
It's a bad-
College.
yeah.
Yeah, where he at? Yeah, City College.
Strong gonna be in the hood.
You know what I
Let's
mean?
keep that shit real,
Yeah,
man.
so
Ain't
people-
no man gonna forget about his dream.
So people forget, about all that stuff when money's involved, or they try to get a certain kind of team involved. You know what I mean? Ain't no way in the world all these kids shouldn't be at this camp trying to get ranked because all they getting is exposure. You ain't getting no exposure going to Oakland, and you ain't getting no exposure going to LA. I got the dude coming to Central Valley. All you battling this dude you play against every day. Go out there and do well, and you ain't got to worry about battling nobody. But when you get to LA, they gonna be there.
They're gonna be
Yeah,
there.
but right here, they're gonna put you in a position.
Let me ask you a question, Coach. When you was being recruited, how many what they call it when you go to the school? How many schools you went to before you settled for Arizona? You went to Arizona, right?
No.
No, he went to Fresno State.
Oh, I'm tripping. What's
Yeah,
the name
yeah,
of
come
that?
on
Yeah,
now.
man.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
bad
you talking
accident.
about
Golden.
I'm talking
Golden,
about Golden.
yeah,
I'm talking
he
about
went to
Golden,
Fresno
Arizona. He
State.
went to Fresno State.
Yeah.
How many offers did you have?
I actually had, it was about 25. About 25.
Why did you stay home? You
Well,
wanted to come to the family?
The recruiting game didn't change since
Okay.
Oh, since-
okay.
Yes.
You know, 'cause
Since
you know,
I was in
might
school.
find you coming
Hey.
down. I might try you 15
That's how it works.
Yeah.
You can't tell me. I know, man.
No,
I'm around with
when I was in school, wasn't no social media.
Thank you.
Wasn't no 7-on-7s.
Yes.
Wasn't no 7-on-7. Wasn't no combines. All that stuff that
Wow.
going on now.
Dinosaur, we old. We
No,
not
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just letting it be
Hey,
real. That's what
and,
it is.
And even when I was
Right.
in high school, none of that stuff existed. The only way you got recruited is what you did on Friday night.
Wow.
You know, a lot of kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
A lot of kids get recruited just on size. Now,
True.
A lot of kids get recruited just on how good they look in drills. I'll be honest, it happens.
Wow.
It happens.
You know,
I know a kid
Tony
that
did
had
it. Come on, Big E.
Yeah. A lot of kids get recruited on that, and when I was playing, it was strictly what you did on Friday night.
Wow.
And, to answer your question, I always wanted to go to Fresno State.
That's
so
right. That's right.
when
They say I always wanted to be a Tiger.
so when Fresno State came with that offer for me, it was midway during my senior season. I cut everybody else off. Hey, I want to go to Fresno State, and now, like I was talking about earlier, kids know where they want to go, but they like the attention of getting all these offers. I didn't care about that. Once I got to Fresno State, once I got the offer from Fresno State, I called everybody else, said I'm going to Fresno State.
Right.
You never went to another school.
No, I didn't even take a visit.
That's right.
Once that's where I wanted to go. So once I got that, it was over.
So with the 7-on-7,
Yeah.
and let me see if I'm gonna say this right. So Friday nights really don't matter.
What's that?
Because you say, hold on, because you telling me you getting. This is where all the scouts. This is how you get graded.
No.
During the 7-on-7.
No. Check it out. Let me.
All right, explain it.
This is a big misconception, and I think a lot of people think. So if everybody watching, I want to make this clear.
They watching.
Y'all watching?
Oh, they
man,
watching.
we gonna rebroadcast
They
it so
watching.
y'all can watch it. Now go on, coach.
This is a rule, a
Okay.
NCAA rule. A college coach cannot attend a 7-on-7.
See,
event.
I didn't know that. Educate me.
Man,
People don't know that.
I didn't know that.
A college coach cannot attend.
A college coach.
That's a
What,
scout.
Okay.
Recruiter.
Okay,
A
that's
college
better.
recruiter
I didn't
or
know that.
scout
Educate me.
cannot attend a 7-on-7 event.
Wow.
So the
Wow.
misconception is kids get recruited playing
Thank you,
7-on-7.
I
That is
didn't
false.
know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
A
big.
Now, did
college-
you know that?
No.
A college
Okay,
recruiter
then.
or coach cannot attend a 7-on-7 event.
Why? Because of the time of the year that's just going on.
No, it's just the NCAA rule.
Okay, so a
Okay.
kid.
It's
Almost like recruiting.
yeah, like undue influence
so
kind
Lee,
of deal.
a kid
Right.
cannot participate in 7-on-7, play on Fridays and get off and get off.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you get off on
Thank
Friday.
you. I didn't
Friday,
know that.
that
Now,
You know.
I'm gonna clear it up. I'm gonna clear it up because it's a lot of misconceptions. Now, the way kids get some exposure from 7-on-7 is at the 7-on-7 events, you do have different writers and people who
Writers,
are
got
there.
you.
You do have different writers and people who are there, and they write on some kids that are participating in the 7-on-7. So whatever exposure they get out of that,
That catches the
It-
whomever's eyes, and then they go.
It just really goes to a social media.
You can use-
Right, that's
board.
what I'm saying, yeah.
So,
Tape,
yeah,
tape
they can
and all
use
that
that.
stuff.
But a college now, there's no 7-on-7 stats that get recorded. There's no 7-on-7 film that coaches look at. No, and so I tell you, the only place other than Friday nights where a kid is seen by a college coach is at a camp, a Rising Star camp, which is like Under Armour, Adidas,
Right.
Nike
Right.
opening.
Okay.
Those are the
Action.
the only events college coaches can attend.
Okay.
And so when people tell you that kids are getting scholarship on 7-on-7,
They lying.
they lying.
Wow.
I just got told a bunch of lies.
I'm telling
You have a son
Now-
that participate in that stuff, right?
But- but for real,
hey, I just
start-
got told a bunch of lies.
Now start to look at it at some 7-on-7 events, and we've been doing it forever. There are writers who will write up on some kids who are there,
Right.
but
They have nothing to
That
do
was,
with
Now-
school.
that was Tony had.
now
Yeah.
this will be my fourth year as a head coach, so
Right.
I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling
You're
you
telling
what
what
I
you know.
know.
Goddamn
Right.
Okay,
Goddamn right.
and so I haven't talked to a college coach yet who told me they offer guys based on 7-on-7
Man,
performance.
I need to, that's it. No, I had to hear that.
I'm
That's-
being honest.
Let me ask
Right.
you, Coach,
I'm being honest.
Coach Head, let me ask you this, bro. So
Now,
okay.
now, I want to clear something else up before you get in there.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that 7-on-7
Ain't good.
not good
I didn't
or
say
it's
that.
bad.
I didn't say that. Right.
But all I'm saying is, you don't get recruited based off of it.
I understand.
Now this the other misconception that makes that conception seem true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, you got a guy like Jalen McMillan,
Mm-hmm.
probably best receiver in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Go to San Joaquin Memorial.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He play on the 7-on-7 team. And so people see him on the
They
7-on-7.
gravitate.
And so he got, about 30-some offers, right? And they say, well, Jalen McMillan got an offer because he played 7-on-7. No. Jalen McMillan had 1,600 yards receiving last year. That's why he got 30 offers. Now, he happened to play for a 7-on-7
Right.
team, but I promise you them offers ain't came from 7-on-7. Jalen McMillan is a bad man.
Yes.
He can play.
Yeah.
And
He's a stud.
I believe
He's a
he is the
stud.
best receiver in the state. I ain't seen them all, but it ain't too
You
many
seen
better.
that one?
Y'all heard it from
And
Edison High
I
School
seen that
Football,
one.
man.
this don't come from 7-on-7.
Can't wait
I
to high
seen
school,
him
man.
play
I've been on sideline
football.
this year,
Right.
man.
And
I've
so,
been on sideline
and so,
for that long
hey,
this year.
so that's the, you see kids who get offers that play 7-on-7 and they think it's from 7-on-7. I'm like, hey, you see him play football? He just play
They
on the
tell him to
team.
put them pads on?
But you can't take a kid who ain't did nothing on Friday night. I bet you he ain't got no offers.
Ain't got
You
one.
bet.
Okay, let me.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't got nothing from 7-on-7.
Right.
Coach,
Yeah.
check that out. I'm like, is basketball the same way? Because they got a bunch.
No,
of
no.
That's different.
No.
That's different.
Now-
That's
It's gotta
different.
be different.
Right.
Okay.
'cause
And that's where I'm
same.
getting my conception
No.
from.
Yeah.
Here we go. Now, you're right. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Now, the difference is, in basketball, most all the recruiting happens in AAU ball.
Right.
Like,
Which would be like a 7-on-7.
Right.
And that's where I get that conception
and
from.
I'm be honest,
That's what I was getting at.
I can't fully understand college coaches in basketball can go to a AAU event, but the football coaches can't go to a
Can't go to
7-on-7
7-on-7.
event.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know
We need to
all
holler
the
at
reason
NCAA,
why.
man. We need to
but-
change the rules,
No,
man.
keep them away from us.
See,
Yeah, right.
They worse than
at a,
FBI.
at a big AAU tournament, at a big AAU tournament,
Every coach is there.
you might have 100 coaches there.
Yeah.
But at a high school game,
And that's where I was getting my conception
because
from. So
at an AAU
was-
event, you got all the best players there. That's why you go to a high school game. I mean, you might. It could be, I don't know, 50 schools and not one of them are D1
Right,
material.
right.
It's like that in basketball.
Right.
So they don't value the 30 points or the 25 points a game on the high school team. They value it on the AAU circuit
Right.
because you got all the best playing.
Yeah,
and we son been through it,
yeah,
so he
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And he could probably correct me if I say something wrong.
You
So
ain't said nothing wrong.
said nothing wrong.
that's
I'm
why
just
they
trying to
value,
work.
and I had an AAU team for
Yeah,
5
that's
years
right.
with the kids, but that's why they value the AAU circuit more because 25 points here, that might be 4 points on the circuit.
Right.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
Now, coach, you
So,
gotta have
yeah.
knowledge of this too.
Right.
Is it in baseball? Because baseball, they get drafted right out of high school now. Is the
Baseball,
same
no,
thing?
no, no.
Now, yeah, baseball.
we talking to a coach. He might want to be.
I'm right, you can tell.
He might want to be athletic director. 10 more years, 15 more years, man.
No, we
know this
faster
shit,
than
man.
that.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, we get
Baseball-
10 years head coach.
Yeah,
Edison, we need two
the
champions.
dynamics are a little different in baseball. I'm not all the way caught
Okay,
up with
okay,
the baseball
okay.
Yeah,
thing.
a whole
Yes, sir,
nother
yes,
level.
sir, yes,
Yeah,
sir, yes, sir,
but
you know.
those were good questions. Those were good questions because there's a lot of misconceptions.
Right.
With
I
the,
sure
with the
had it wrong.
7-on-7,
Yeah, yeah.
the,
You know.
the camps and combines. Like for example, the diamond in the rough, right? This is a camp. So, but technically, coaches can attend our camp. The only problem is, and this is something we might have to talk about later on, is this is the non-viewing time
Right.
of the year. So coaches can only come to certain events. They got a window.
Right.
Yes,
And so,
yes,
like
yes.
for example, right after the season, from December to February was the recruiting time. I had just about every Mountain West and Pac-12 school come through Edison.
That's right.
They recruiting,
That's
right?
That's right. That's right.
And so they can't come back out until I think it's April,
Right.
till they make their rounds again. So, because our camp in March, they can't. They got to be hands off
That's
during
right,
this
that's right,
time.
that's right,
And so,
that's right.
in the future, if we move this camp to April or something, we
Right.
might have 50
Yeah,
coaches at the
right.
Diamond in the Rough
By
camp.
far.
But they can't come right now. But this
Okay.
would be a camp they can come to.
That's right. That's
Right,
big. That's
right.
big.
So the
man.
Diamond in the
That's
Rough
right.
camp will
Right.
be continuous. This is the first one, and we're gonna keep it
First
pushing.
of all,
yeah.
Yeah, we just- Man, when you get the guy, we got Ricky Manning, man, and Robert Gold and Atnaf, man, and Charlie Jones. You won't get that kind of teaching nowhere.
But you the brains behind this, big bro. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
the brains behind this,
They
man.
bless-
they
they bless
love
me,
you,
me,
man.
yeah,
Like,
they
we
bless
all
me.
love you,
Right.
bro.
Yeah, they bless me,
This is,
man.
man, like I said, I got a kid, man. You know, I got a few kids in neighborhoods, man. You know, I be telling, man, I think y'all can make it.
Right.
Yeah.
But then y'all got to go talk to we and that now. All those shit.
let them grade you.
Hey,
That's real. That's
Hey,
real.
Lord,
They'll
no,
tell you the
yeah.
real.
hey, but you know what? And they can make it.
Yes,
And
yes.
like we talked about earlier, and I'm a believer of this. You can do anything you set your mind to it, but you got to do them things we talked
That we
about.
talked about,
The
right.
things that give you the best chance.
Yes.
I can't guarantee you're going to make it, but if you don't do all these things, you almost got no chance. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the right things, and you got to put yourself in position to have that opportunity. I call it opportunity because everybody ain't going to get
How
opportunity.
many
Right.
jobs in the NFL, man? About 1,200 of you know, man, because you gotta go first round to get some real money, man. You don't get no real money, man. So, you know, just like CJ told his son when the little CJ knew he wasn't gonna make it, man. Get your education, man.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, it's
get
the
your
only
master's
way.
degree, man.
Right.
His son got a master's degree, man. That's
Oh,
big.
man.
That's
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
I don't know
Yeah.
too many people with master's degree, but I know my little nephew got one.
That's
That's
big.
it.
That's big.
That's big.
That's
You
it.
feel me? That's big, man.
So we gonna end this. What's some of something you want to say? Lastly, what would you like to say?
I just think, parents need to get more involved with their kids, man. I think we need to bring a community together. We in a position that we can use, use what you guys have and get out there and start having more events, bringing more parents involved and let them see what we doing. And they can be involved with what we doing. I mean, saving one life is one thing, but saving, 10,000, 20,000 is a whole different thing. That's a whole community, man. You know what I mean? We all got to put our pride away, man, and step forward, man, and lift everybody up, man, and move forward. And the ones that don't want to do it, stay behind, but we finna do this. You know what I mean? So it's some stuff we're working on.
This is
bro.
big.
I told you,
Yeah,
it's big,
God is
man.
big,
It's big.
man.
That's why, man.
I want to thank y'all for letting us come on, man, and talk about what we got going, man. If you want to be seen, you want to get some exposure, make sure you get that diamond in the rough, man. We got some of the best coaches that played in the NFL, and now giving back to the community, man. They ain't charging me nothing. I'm not getting nothing. All they paying for their uniforms, man, and we going to make this happen, man. If you're a top dog, you be in L.A., baby. Holler back at us.
That's
Then you heard
man.
it
I'm
first.
My cameraman in town. I mean, he in the building, man. I'm gonna see if he's not busy, man. We can come out there and get some footage for y'all,
Oh, yeah,
man.
that'd
I'm
be
being there
big.
late this weekend. I hate that, but it's my mom's birthday. But like I said, I just want to say this to Coach Adnoff from Big Weed, man. What y'all doing, man, is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Then, like you say, we talked about Tony Perry. All them guys on that flyer, man. They came on that DB Goot, that tutelage, man.
Right.
You know, that was, man, the best tutelage in the world, man. Like I said, it'll never be another Tony Perry.
Never.
Man, he rest, man. And, I had told him, man, I wish I could have played for Tony Perry, man, for real, man.
Hey, I would tell this story again, like on the last show, when I was playing JUCO ball up north, up in Oakland. We had a Saturday off, so I went to go watch Laney, and from what I remember, Tone was playing at Kings River. Tone hurt his knee. Everybody in the stands was talking about seeing this cat named Tony Perry.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Right?
sir. Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes,
like,
sir.
man, I know this dude, man, Tony Perry. Because
Man,
from
that's
the
TP, man.
I looked out. He didn't play because he had a knee injury. And I was looking at it, I was like, Tony Perry from Fresno. So I walked across and, man, did you know everybody here to see you play?
Wow.
All the JUCOs, all the, So that's how big he was
Yes,
on the
yes,
field,
yes.
and other than that,
And
in
off
the
the
community
field.
with
Yes.
the kids and everybody else. And like Ron said, thank y'all for coming on the show,
But
man.
before we go, let me just tell my Tony Perry spot. I gotta tell him, man. I want to beat Tony Perry, man. All bullshit aside, man, I wanted to be quarterback, man. Me and Stephen Taylor, man. I go back to that. We used to leave Frank Age and go to Edison, man. Tony Perry's number 9. I wanted to be Tony Perry, man.
Right.
Real shit, man. You know.
So, we had some greats there. My heroes right here, like I always say, these my heroes
Man,
right
without a
here.
doubt, man. Keep on doing what
keep
you're
the
doing,
work up.
Adnaf. But like I say,
You doing your thing.
You told me you got 2-3 years, baby. 2-3 years, man. I want to ring, man. I just want to be like, man, that champions, that state. We already did the Valley. We want some state championship, man. I believe you, man, because I met you, man. You're a dedicated young brother, man. Keep on doing what you're doing. And big bro, I love you, man. I'm with you, man. Anytime you got an event, man.
Ain't nothing changed.
Anytime y'all want to say
day,
something, man, come on the show. Word on the streets,
If y'all get a chance, man, I go up to Edison, man, see how Atnaf working them boys out. Then I want to hear what you say after you see what he doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's take this out on the road.
Man, KP to go check that out, man.
All right, let's give a shout out to KP. Thanks.
Man,
KP, thanks, KP. 25 years, baby. Love you, boy.
Mad Talk TV.
Next week, man, Fresno the hip hop scene show, man. Y'all get that merchandise. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, man. Big Wheel sponsor, man. Kevin Burks with I forgot his gym. He's a sponsor. McKay Media is a sponsor. Hip hop scene is a sponsor, and Word on the Streets is a sponsor.
And we're gonna get more sponsors.
Yes.
So thank you. We out. Word on the Streets.
Peace.